Assalamu alaikum. Welcome to our 8th math online lesson for grade 5. This is Ms. Fatima Bilhaj. And today we're going to take multiplying a two-digit number with one decimal place by a single digit number. So let's get started by opening our student's book on page 70. First of all, we need to know what do we mean by a two-digit number with one decimal place. Let's take a look at this number, for example. This is the price of around 5 to 6 oranges. It's equal to 4.60. And 4.60 is the same as 4.6. That is a two-digit number with one decimal place, with a decimal place. For example, down here, we've got 7.6. That's a two-digit number, 7 and 6, with a decimal point there. We're going to multiply that number by a single digit number, like 5, 1, 6, 3, and so on. There are two methods here. First method is ignoring the decimal point and then multiplying the numbers. Then place the decimal point to your answer. How's that? Let's take a look at this example. We've got 7.6 multiplied by 7. Here's the two-digit number that has a decimal point, and here is the single-digit number. I'm going to ignore this decimal point. That is, take 7.6 as 76. Erase that decimal point. Forget about it for now. Then multiply by 7. The answer will be 532. And now let's go back to that decimal point which we ignored. Looking over here, we've got one decimal place from the right side. We're talking about the right side of the number, which is the decimal part. The decimal point comes after one place, which we have here 6 in the tenths. So I'll place the decimal point right after one place here. So this number is going to be 53.2. I turned this 2 into 2 tenths. For the second method, it is simply to partition the decimal number into a whole part and a decimal part, then multiplying. How's that? Let's take an example. We've got 7.6 multiplied by 7. I will partition this 7.6 into a whole part, which is 7, and a decimal part, which is 0.6. Now, one might ask me, why did you write 0.6? We call this a placeholder, this 0. Why is that? Because if I remove this 0 and decimal point, I will end up with 7 plus 6, which is 13. But that's wrong. I have to hold this 6's place. The place value of this 6 was tenths. So I must write the decimal point and a 0 to keep this 6 in the tenths place value. I'll not turn it into a whole number like 7. Then multiply both of them by 7. I'm going to multiply 7 by 7 and 7 by 0.6. Now I know that 7 times 7 is 49 and 0.6 times 7 is 4.2. How's that? Referring back to our first method or first strategy, we're going to multiply 7 by 6, that's 42, and then place a decimal point right after one place. So 49 plus 4.2. If you have forgotten how to add the decimals, numbers that has decimal points, please watch one of our previous lessons. You will find a full explanation there. The answer is 53.2. Now, let's move to our workbook. Let's open both pages 140, 141. I will start with challenge 1. For each number fact you're given, write a related decimal fact. The first one has been done for you. Look over here. We've got 24 times 3, which equals 72. This is the number fact that I know or I was given. I'm going to write a related decimal fact. That means I'm going to add a decimal point. I just learned how to multiply with 2 digits when a decimal number has 2 digits. So I'll place a decimal point between 2 and 4. Since I placed it here, I'll have to place it in the answer as well, after one place value there and after one place value here. Let's take a look at B. We had 73. We made it turn into 7.3. So that means I have to change 511 to 51.1. One might ask me, Miss, why didn't you put the decimal point between 5 and 1? And if I do that, if I put the decimal point between 5 and 1, this place value, the decimal part of the answer, is not going to be equivalent to the decimal part of the first number. Why? Because when you put it here, I will have tenths and hundredths. But here in the first number, I only have tenths. So I must put it between 1 and 1 just to have one place value. Plus, besides, decimal part is always on the very right side of the number. So I start counting from the right side, tenths, then place the decimal point. D, I turned 37 into 3.7. So I must turn 148 into 14.8. You see that? The decimal point after one place here, after one place there. For challenge 2, work out the answer to each multiplication by using a related whole number calculation. Show your working in the box. I'm going to change this. I'm going to do the opposite. Change this decimal fact into a whole number fact. Take a look at 2.7. I'm going to turn it into 27. So 27 multiplied by 4, just how we learned before. I'm going to partition 27 into 20 and 7. And I'm going to multiply each by 4. 4 times 20 is 80. 4 times 7 is 28. Together they are 108. Now I'm done with the whole part, or the fact, the whole part fact, or the integer fact. 2.7 here has a decimal place or decimal point after one place. So I'll place a decimal point after one place in the answer as well. So the answer is going to be 10.8. Now, let's take a look at D. 8.9 multiplied by 8. I'm going to change 8.9 into 89. So, I'm going to partition, in order to multiply by 8, of course, I'm going to partition 89 into 80 plus 9, and then multiply each by 8. 8 times 8 is 64. With the 0 we have, going to turn into 640. And 8 times 9 is 72. Together they are 712. And not forgetting the fact that I had the decimal point first, so I'll place it in the answer here as well, after one place value. Now, question number 2, same challenge, page 140. I'm still doing the same page. Work out the answer to each multiplication. Use partitioning. The first one has been done for you. Partitioning, which is our second method. Look at that. 2.6 was partitioned into 2 and 0.6. Then each of them were multiplied, or each number was multiplied by 6. So 2.6, 2 multiplied by 6 plus 0.6 multiplied by 6. That is 12 plus 3.6, which is 15.6. Again, if you don't know how to add these, please watch one of our previous videos where we explained this procedure. Look at B now. Let's do it down here. B is 3.7 multiplied by 4. Now, one of the students might still forget about the fact that I have to keep the 7's place value, which is tenths, and might forget about that and write 3 plus 7. But that's totally wrong. You know why? Because 3 plus 7 is equal to 11. And when I multiply 11 by 4, it's definitely not the same as multiplying 3.7 by 4. So this answer is totally wrong. And I'm going to replace it by the correct answer, which is 3 plus 0.7. Do you see that? That 0 and decimal point to keep the 7's place value, which is tenths. Then I'm going to multiply each by 4. 4 times 3 is 12. And 4 times 7 is 28, and then placing the decimal point after one place, it turns into 2.8. Then add both of them, you will get 14.8. That's for B. As for C, we're just going to explain it quickly. We've got 7.8 multiplied by 7. I partitioned 7.8, and then I multiplied each by 7, and I got 49 plus 5.6, which is equal to 54.6. Now let's move to page 141. We've got up here same challenge question 3, but page 142, as I said, 42. Now, work out the answer to each multiplication. Use the grid method. A, 4.6 multiplied by 3. It's actually the same as our previous question here, where we partitioned the first number. It's just that I'm going to write it in a different shape, let's just say. I'm going to partition 4.6 into 4, and I will write it here, and 0.6, I'll write it over here. Then I'll multiply each by 3 and place 3 down here in this box. Now, what's 4.3? That's 12. Write the answer here. And what's 3? Look at that. 3 times 6, the answer is 18. But decimal point after one place, so 1.8. Now, add these two together, 12 plus 1.8, you will get 13.8. Next question, same thing. I'm going to partition 6.9 into 6. And this 9 is going to come down here as 0.9. And I'll multiply by 7 here. What's 6 times 7? The answer is 42. Look at that. What's 9 times 7? That's 63. But I have a decimal point, so 6.3. Add these two together, and you will get 48.3. As simple as that. I hope that was very clear for you guys. Now, question number 4. Work out the combined mass of each set of crates. Take a look at this first one. A, it's 5.7 kilograms. B is 3.9 kilograms. C is 8.8 kilograms. And D is 6.4 kilograms. Let's read again here. We need to know the combined mass of each set of crates. A is 5 of crate A, 5 of this one, okay? And 3 of crate B. So that's 3 of this box or this crate over here. Now, how would I know what is 5 of these crates? Each one is 5.7. 5 of this 5.7 is the same as multiplying 5 by 5.7 or adding this 5 times. But adding takes a lot of time, so let's multiply. I'm going to multiply 5.7 by 5. You can choose the method you found more comfortable for you or that was easier for you to understand. And in both cases, of course, in both methods, you will get 28.5. What is 28.5? That's 5 of crate A. 3 of crate B. Here's B. I'm going to multiply it by 3. We've got 3.9 for each one, but I need 3. So I'll multiply 3.9 by 3 and I will get 11.7. Now the combined mass, that means I have to add 28.5 to 11.7. And the answer is going to be 40.2. Look at B over here. We've got 4 of crate C and 7 of crate D. C is 8.8. I'm going to multiply that by 4 and I will get 35.2. And 7 of crate D. So I'm going to multiply this 6.4 by 7 and I will get 44.8. Now the total mass or the combined mass is adding these two together and I will get 80 kilograms. As you can see, guys, I have left few questions that were not answered. I need you to answer them on your own. And if there was anything that you were not able to understand, please don't hesitate to share that on Viber. I'll see you next time, guys. Take care.